So this is it, the compact carbon cracker. It's our invention. It's what is. So we have the third version. The first was for trucks, cars, and others. Here, this is the first industrial tool. The CCC, we connect it directly to the generator. At the exhaust of the generator, we collect the fumes from the generator that will pass through this pipe, which is there to expand the gases, enter the CCC, pass into a first solution, then passes into a second solution, then goes through a more powdery system, and at the end we get pure oxygen with some water. There's only water and oxygen being released. Everything else has been trapped, broken down. And what is almost unique is breaking down the CO2. Most people liquefy it, sequester it, we break it down, and that's the big difference because we keep the carbon. With that, we can process, let's say, hundreds of kilograms, even tons of CO2, and recover dozens of kilograms, even hundreds of kilograms of carbon. If you want, we can plug it in directly and turn on the generator. That way you will see it in operation. We will set up two devices, one for the input, the other for the output, which will accurately measure the difference between the incoming oxygen level, the outgoing oxygen level, and we'll also measure the incoming CO2 and the outgoing CO2. And we will notice during operation that there is no more carbon dioxide at the output and that the oxygen level is higher at the output than at the input.
Here we measure what comes out of the engine. So the combustion consumes oxygen, and as a result we end up with only 15.91% oxygen, and part of the combustion has been converted into CO2. So at the engine's output we have 3.5% of the total gas volume that is CO2. It goes through the CCC and we measure at the exit with the same probe that is here, which is inserted inside. This is the output probe and it gives the values we have after the treatment. And here we can clearly see that we recover. While we entered with 15% of CO2 of oxygen, we end up with 19.63% of oxygen. So we have indeed recovered this oxygen, which comes from the breakdown of CO2. And the CO2, it is at zero. It is really at zero. And at the same time, we can also see another thing, which is that there are nitrogen oxides. So this is the NO. It's not the NOx because it doesn't measure that, but the NO here is at 91. And it is at 91 of nitrogen oxide. 91, 92. And now we are only at 14.
We are down to 14. We have eliminated 80% of the NO as well. We are at 30 hours as we continue. And after 30 hours, I have 6% consumption. We saw the system in operation that allows receiving the CO2. Here is the first bath, the second bath, and the third.
At the end of the first bath, there is a saturation that will appear over time because there will be a large deposit of carbon. And what you have to imagine is that when you look at it after about 30 hours of sampling, which represents about 6% consumption, we already have practically 1 centimeter of carbon that was in suspension and is gradually settling. It's pure carbon that comes directly from the ambient air. It came out of the engine through the CO2 and we collect it. So you have to imagine that when it's saturated, it will be full. So this is a powdered carbon. The competition today does not exist. Well, practically not. We have been, let's say in quotes, competed against in fundamental research by the École Polytechnique de Lausanne, which showed it had a solution to break down CO2, and also by Berkeley in the United States, which also has a solution to break down CO2. Simply their efficiency is much lower than ours, and so we are by far the best. And according to the findings of the investigation conducted by the Control Office, we would be the only industrializable solution today. So we really have a much higher efficiency than these two laboratories, and then worldwide the competition is not that. The competition is about capturing carbon dioxide, liquefying it, storing it underground for future generations as a little gift, and at the same time keeping it clean, because if there is warming, there is an explosion. So people don't really want too much carbon dioxide either. For us, there is no risk. The carbon is inert, and in the end we have a product that is neither flammable nor explosive and can even probably be well revalued.
Là, on est actuellement à 2% de CO2, donc la sonde, on l'a mis à la sortie du pot d'échappement. On va maintenant la mettre à la sortie du CCC, la même sonde. Donc je mets là, on est à 2%, donc ce qui était la valeur là-bas. On est remonté en oxygène parce que là ça mesure plus vite. Ça c'est la sonde de sortie et ça donne les valeurs que l'on a après le traitement. Et là on voit bien qu'on récupère, alors qu'on est rentré avec 15% de CO2 d'oxygène, on se retrouve avec 19,63% d'oxygène. Donc on a bien récupéré cet oxygène qui vient bien de la cassure du CO2. Et le CO2, lui, il est à 0. Il est vraiment à 0.